Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to class. We are going to be working with the inner thighs today. We are going to start laying down. So please have a block next to you and have a strap next to you. And then come on down. How'd that sound? My goodness, that was quite the sigh. And start by just straightening your legs. Whew. Maybe take the feet wide on your yoga mat. Draw the shoulders down toward the earth. Let your hands be wherever they feel good to you. Maybe they're resting on your belly, and maybe they're down at your sides, whatever feels good to you. And start to find the breath, taking the breath in and exhaling it out. And as you lay here, just get a sense of where your pelvis is. Does it feel pretty even to you? Do you feel pretty centered on your yoga mat? Is one hip higher than the other? Is there something chatting with you this morning? Low back, maybe, or hips? So keep fussing, keep moving around until it feels just about right to you. And taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Breathing in and exhaling, letting go. And maybe feel what your legs do naturally as you lay straight. In other words, do your feet turn out to the sides? Are they mostly pointing up toward the ceiling? Do they turn in? It doesn't matter. Whichever way they go is fine. It's just kind of an indication of how your hips are built and where the socket is for your femurs, your thigh bones. So just kind of notice, just for your own knowledge, where do you go? Do you tend to rotate outwardly? Do you tend to rotate in? Still staying with the breath, not changing anything, maybe noticing that if there was a little funky feeling when you first laid down, that is settling down in your body. And then walk your feet to hips width apart and take the toes and point them up to the ceiling. Squeeze the hips and the glutes, press the backs of your shoulders into the floor as if you could lift your whole body off the floor. And then on the exhale, let it all go. Let the feet splay out if they normally do. And take the toes, point them toward the ceiling, squeeze the hips, squeeze the glutes, press the back of the shoulders, maybe the back of the arms into the floor, and slowly release. Let the legs relax. Good. Just one more here. Take the toes, point them straight up. Squeeze everything back to the center. Breathe, everybody. And exhale, release. And then very simply take the big toes toward each other. They don't have to touch. Mine don't touch. My feet are wider. And then let them splay out to the side. So just simple internal, external rotation. Don't push it. Don't make it more than it is. Everything else is relaxing. Bringing the toes toward each other and then letting them go away. A couple more here. Internal, external rotation, right? And as we play with the hips and we play with poses, we'll get a sense of this internal and external rotation. And then point all the toes straight up. Take just the left leg and externally rotate it. So that movement actually comes from the hip rolls down the thigh, rolls down to the shin, and the foot is that last thing that externally rotates. And then takes just the left foot pointed up, and then turn it in a little bit and just see, or turn it in to your level and see how that feels. Relax that one, all the toes pointing straight up. Take the right leg, turn the toes out, or externally rotate the leg, the hip. Bring it center, turn those toes in, right side. Release that, bend both knees, everybody. Grab your block. Lift the hips, take that block underneath your sacrum. Always remember that doesn't go anywhere near your low back. If you put your hands on the pelvic rims, what we normally think of as our hips, that block should be below that pelvic rim. And pause here for a second and just, again, get settled. See how that feels. Make sure there's not a lot of pressure on the shoulders or the head. There's space behind your neck always. Draw the right knee to your chest. You can hang on to that knee with your hand, straighten the left leg. Try to relax both feet, relax both legs. So trying to get into the psoas muscle a little bit. That psoas muscle attaches all the way up at T12, the lowest thoracic vertebra, goes all the way down the lumbar spine, goes to the inside of the pelvis and attaches at the inner upper thigh. So it's a very long muscle. It can get tight. It can pull the back either into extension or flexion. Breathe. Just let it happen. Just let it relax. Notice where your pelvis is on the block. If you can, come into a neutral pelvis, which means you're flattening that sacrum onto your block. Breathe. And then that left leg, that long leg, turn the toes, point them up, squeeze that glute, and just lift that left leg a couple of inches, just a couple. Don't lift it very high. The glute is active, the hip is active. And then lower that leg, let the leg relax. Just two more like that. Turn the toes up, squeeze the glute before you lift. Lift the leg a couple of inches, hold, and then lower, let that go out to the side. Good. Last one, toes up. Lift as you squeeze, hold, and then lower that leg. Slide the heel up, bring the knee toward your chest. Both knees can come to your chest if you want. Allow that lower back to round, stretching everything out. And then bring the pelvis back to neutral. The left knee stays in, the right leg straightens. So nice and slow here. That psoas is it's a tricky muscle. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's just a tricky muscle to access and to stretch. And there's a lot of literature that says you really can't stretch it. I'm not sure that's true. So just pause here, relax both your right leg and your left foot. Just let everything relax. Notice it on this side. Stay with your breath. And then turn the toes up. Squeeze the glute on the right first, then lift the leg a few inches, hold. Lower the foot, let the leg relax, glute relaxes. Turn the toes up, squeeze the hip, lift the leg, you got it by now. Breathe, relax your upper body fully. Lower that foot, let the leg relax. One more, toes up, squeeze that butt, lift the leg a couple of inches. Breathe. Lower the foot, slide that heel up, bring those legs or those knees toward your chest. Just stretch out a little bit. And then flatten the sacrum back onto your block. Make sure you feel steady. Hands down to your floor, down to the floor. You can even hold the sides of your mat if you want a little more stability. Take both legs up to the ceiling, flex and point. If you've had enough of the block and you would rather be flat on the floor, feel free to do that, everybody. Just point, flex, maybe circle those ankles and circle the other way. And then both legs out to the side. So wide leg pose here. Breathe. Don't go too far. And notice if your pelvis wants to tuck, right? And if your lower back wants to flatten. Keep a nice little arch there. Keep the sacrum smack down on that block if you can. Big deep breath. Bring the legs back together. Turn the knees out. The soles of the feet come together. Just a little bit of a Baddha Konasana here. The arms are relaxed. Your upper body is relaxed. Bring the knees together. Take the legs straight up. Open up those legs. Breathe. Watch the pelvis. Try to keep it neutral best you can. Bring the legs together. Soles of the feet together. The knees go out to the side. We've got one more just like that. Knees together, legs straight up. Open those legs. Breathe. And then bring the legs together, soles of the feet. Knees go out to the side. Breathe. Hold right here. And then knees together. One foot to the floor, other foot to the floor. Pause right here. Press into your feet. Lift your hips. Take that block out. Hold bridge pose just for a second. Glutes are active, hips are active. You've heard this from me a number of times over this last week. Keep those glutes engaged as you lower down all the way to the floor and then release it. Woo, straighten the legs, everybody. Let the legs relax. Just notice how your back, hips, legs feel, if there's anything different than when we started, hopefully from a positive standpoint. And then bend the knees. Take your strap around your left foot. Take that left foot up to the sky. Straighten the right leg if that is accessible to you. If that causes you to bend your left knee, straightening the right causes you to bend, I would keep that foot on the floor. Good. Hold the strap in your left hand. Your right hand goes to your hip point, that front as its bone, and then take the left leg out to the left side. And notice, right, we've got the strap, but notice if that left leg can come straight out from the hip, or if it starts to head down toward your other leg, down toward your foot. Try to keep it level with the hip if you can. Try to keep the right hip bone down. Relax as best you can. Don't overstretch. Breathe. Try to relax it. It's a lot of work here, especially when we hold. Notice where you feel the stretch. And take that leg all the way up. Bend your knee. Bring that knee to your chest. I'm just going to turn over so I don't have the wall in my way. Relax those legs and then let's switch sides. The strap goes around your right foot. Right leg goes up to the ceiling. Left leg straightens if that makes sense for you. Say good morning to your hamstrings. Breathe. Left hand is at that left front hip. And we take the right leg out to the side. And again, we just play. Where is it on this side? What's different? What's the same? Breathe. If you feel pain in the knee itself, I would put a soft bend in the knee. Whew. How do we try to keep that left hip down for the most part? And stretch the hamstring or stretch the inner thigh, the adductor muscles on the right. Take that leg up. Bend the knee, bring that knee to your chest, remove your strap, set that strap aside, both knees to chest, roll over to one side, and come on up, everybody. See, that wasn't too bad. Feel free to sit on a blanket here. We're gonna be seated for a little bit. And first pose, Janu Sirsasana. So if I'm mirroring here, it would be my right leg out, my left knee bent. Remember with Janu, all kinds of options, a block under the knee, which is often very lovely, or this foot, because of the knee, comes out any amount that you need it to in order to find the stretch. Move the flesh out of the sit bones. Flex your extended legs foot. Sit up really tall. Find your breath. Right? So what we want to think of is coming forward, but what happens when we sit tall? Breathe. Press your inner thigh or wherever this foot is. Press the thigh and the foot or the shin and the foot towards each other. Let's get it active. You'll feel that quad start to activate. Take the arms up. As you exhale, swan dive. Keep that chest tall. Let the hands come down to the floor. Open up the shoulders. Draw the front of the chest forward. Try not to lead with your head. Breathe. And feel the left leg hamstrings stretching. Activate your quad if you can on that left side. So just see if you can get that muscle to contract a little bit. We know, right? If we contract the opposing muscle or we contract one muscle, the opposing muscle gets a little bit more permission to stretch. Deep breath. Come down as low as feels good to you, but try not to over round. And breathe. And then take the torso up. Sit really tall. Listen up. You're going to take the same leg and extend it out to the side. As we focus on these adductor muscles, the muscles that add or bring that leg back to center, right? So we did hamstring. This is going to be more adductor as far as a stretch. Same thing. If you're not sitting on a blanket and you're feeling rounded in the back, I would sit on a blanket. Let it help you bring that pelvis tilted forward. And then bring the hands forward and just hold, right? This might be as far as you need to go. I'm always mindful of the stretch here because it can get into my knee, which my knee doesn't like. So I'm just going to check it out. Start to wiggle a little bit. Where do I feel the stretch? Even play. What happens if I turn the foot out a little bit? What happens if I roll it in a little bit and get all that flesh to internally rotate? Take the stretch where it makes sense for you. Breathe. Again, I'm on elbows on this side, but I'm trying not to round my back. Deep breath, everybody. Good. Press into your hands. Lift up really tall. Take your hand underneath your knee. Bend that knee. Just bring it into a cross-legged if you can. If you can't, just take it where you can. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Take the torso forward. Just stretching out that hip a little bit. Good. Come on up. Switch sides. So if you're with me mirroring, it would be your left leg, your right knee. Remember the block under the knee. That leg comes straight out from the hip, Janu Sirsasana. The torso is nice and long. The foot is flexed. Maybe we engage this little quadricep here. Take the arms up. Exhale, nice forward fold. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Right leg so tight compared to the left. What the heck? Good. Remember to press your foot into your thigh into your foot. Breathe. See if you can lengthen that spine a little bit more. What's your body telling you, right? What does it feel? Where's that stretch on this side? Is it way up at the attachment? Is it in the belly of that hamstring or the three hamstrings? Is it around the knees where where hamstrings attach? Deep breath. Good. One more here. And take that torso up, get your body nice and tall. Same leg goes out to the side. Notice how this side feels compared to the other, right? Where are we tight? Hands come in front of you. My whole right leg is having a chat with me. So I'm not going to go very far today. I can feel it. Like, woohoo! Breathe. Play, right? What happens if you take the toes out? What happens if you take the toes in and internally rotate a little bit? And you find your breath here. And press up, everybody. Just take the fingers under that knee, bend the knee. Now that leg is in front. If you are cross-legged, take the hips forward. Come on down. Don't have to go far here again. I'd rather see you upright and neutral in your spine than low and rounded. Breathe. Good. Come on up, everybody. Take both knees together, straighten both legs, flex both feet, engage both quads, sit up really tall, take the arms up. Dandasana. Woo. Yep, just a little reset here. Really squeeze through those legs, really activate the inner line. And imagine you've got a block between the thighs and you are squeezing that block, like really activate those inner thighs. And relax, let go, shake that out. One more thing seated. I know we're on our butts for a long time, but grab your block. Take that block at the narrowest level, place it either between your thighs or at your knees, whichever one feels good, and squeeze your block. Oof. Yep. Maybe you flex your feet and work those calf muscles a little bit. Maybe you wiggle your toes, but squeeze the block. Don't forget. Don't forget to squeeze the block. Only if you want, take the arms out. Variation here, a boat pose. Squeeze your block. The focus today is those inner thighs, but we could do a little core work while we're at it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Take that block and bring it to the second width of your block. Squeeze that block again. Optional to lean back a little bit and work with our core, but focus here. Focus, focus. Maybe you lift one leg just to play. Maybe you lift the other leg just to play. Breathe, squeeze, 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 release. Take that block as wide as it goes. Squeeze the block. Ooh. Lean back, arms out, feet flex. Lift your chest, everybody. Breathe. Maybe you lift one foot down. Maybe you lift the other down. Squeeze, squeeze the block. My sister just lifted both. And release. Nice job. Set that block aside. Woo. And come on up, everybody. Let's take a blanket underneath those knees. I got to get moving. I know we're doing so much stretching, and I'm like, oh, I got to get going. Got lots to do in the class today. All right. Hands down, table pose, torso nice and long, pelvis neutral. We got all this, everybody. Press the left leg back, lift the leg, engage that glute. Bend the knee, take that knee out to the side, and then straighten and extend. Bend the knee, Take the knee out to the side, squeeze, try to level that pelvis. Bring the knee back down and straighten. 3 more. Bend, turn it out to the side, turn the knee back down, extend. 2 more, bend. Bring the knee out to the side. When you bring that knee out to the side, try to level the pelvis so that that side glute isn't, or that side hip isn't lifted. Bring it down, extend. We got 1 left. Bend, turn it out, squeeze the glute, level the pelvis. Bring it down, extend the leg, hold. Let's take the right arm out. Let's get a little balancing table in there. You know, it's like vegetables when you're a kid. You got to sneak those vegetables in when you're a kid, right? As a parent, so that you get your kids to eat them. Same thing with core. Got to sneak it in. Let that hand go. Let that knee go. Sit back for a moment. Stretch everything out. And come on up. Right leg out. Hold the belly. Lift the leg. Level that pelvis. Breathe. Bend the knee. Turn the knee out to the side. So if I level my pelvis, the knee's just not going to go as high, right? Really focusing on those external hip rotators. Turn the knee down, extend the leg out. Bend the knee, turn the knee out. Try to stay within the hip. Lenny, lower that hip a whole bunch on the right side. Lower the hip. Yep, there you go. I know the knee's not going to go out as high. Turn the knee down, extend. Last one, bend the knee. Try to move from the knee, not the hip. Woo! Turn it down, extend. Actually, we have 2 more. I forgot we did 5. Bend, take the knee out. To lower it and extend. Last one. Bend the knee, turn the knee out. Woo! Bring the knee down, straighten, and then extend through the left arm. Big deep breath, everybody. Lower the knee, lower the hand, sit back, stretch that out. Whew. And then from those knees, let's step forward with your right foot. Grab a hold of your blocks. Once again, stretching. Engage the back glute, stretching the front thigh, feeling this. Maybe walk that knee back a little bit. And then straighten the front leg. Straighten the front leg. You can take the blocks high, medium, doesn't matter. Flex your foot. Sit way back, stretching the hamstring. And then that front foot, just want you to turn it out to the side. Yep. And then turn and point the toes up, bend that knee, come back to your lunge. And one more time, straighten, flex, hold, feel the hamstring, turn the toes out. Woo. Turn the toes back, bend your front knee, flip your back toes under, lift your back knee. Now you're in a high lunge, straighten your front leg. So very long here, pyramid pose variation, pressing through, feeling that extension in the right side. The shoulders draw back, the chest is long, pressing into the back foot as well. Bend your front knee, lower your back knee, switch sides. Whew. Find your breath. So you're in a lunge, left foot forward. Your legs are hips width apart. Your back glute is squeezing. And when you're ready, straighten the back or the front leg. Flex your foot. Optional, turn the toes out. Just play here a little bit. Point. Plant your foot, bend your knee, lunge. Last one, straighten. Flex your foot, level out that pelvis, everybody. Turn the toes out and straighten the foot. Plant your foot, bend your knees, lift your back knee. Hold. Nice solid lunge, feels really good. When you're ready, you're straightening that front leg. Big deep breath. So you're pressing through the back heel. My heel is not touching, but I'm pressing that energy back there. Front leg straight, planting that front foot, everybody. Big deep breath. Bend your front leg. Drop your back knee. Bring your other knee back. And we're going to find downward facing dog. So just move those blocks out of the way. Flip your toes under. Come to down dog. Once you're in down dog, let's stretch it all out. Maybe shake out those hips. Breathe. Come to a nice neutral pelvis. And one, you're here. Two, lift the left leg, bend the knee, turn the knee out to the side. Breathe, squeeze through that glute, and then lower the knee, extend the leg, and lower that leg. Same thing, other side. First, lift the right leg, bend the knee, heel goes toward the glutes. The knee turns out to the side. Hold. Lower the knee, extend the leg, and then lower the leg. Downward facing dog. Take those feet nice and wide. Walk your hands back. We're going to move that blanket out of our way. If it's there, bend the knees. Come on up, everybody. Whew. Take your time. Let that head get back to neutral. Roll out your shoulders, shake out your wrists, and breathe. Plant your feet. Open up the shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take the hands interlace back of your head and very gently press the head back into your hands. Good. This is just a little shoulder warm up. Taking those hands, keep them interlaced. If you can, turn the palms up and reach. And then bring them back to your head. Take out that head, bring the arms up, reach, and bring it back. Open up those elbows. Yes, squeeze. Turn the palms up. Hold it right here. Let's stretch to one side. And center. Let's turn to the other side. And center. And release. Whew, shake that out. Good. Turn sideways on your mat and come to one side. Make sure there's nothing in your way that's going to trip you up, like blocks or blankets or straps. We're going to be traveling sideways. So hands to hips. All we're doing to start, take a step out, solid stance, come center. Take a step out. Center, if you got room, take another step out, bring it together, go the other way. Starting off easy. This is choice number one. Back to the end and pause. So choice number one, we're going to do that again. If you make that choice when you step out, I want you to squeeze that leg in like you're having to go through mud. Okay? All right, choice number one, step out, squat, come up, step in. We're doing this slow on purpose. I want good form. Step out, give me a squat, come on up, and step one more. Out to the side, toes are pointing forward. Squat, maybe your elbows touch. Come up and touch. One more, here we go. Squat, come up. Don't move until you've come up again, good form. And down, squat, up, step, step out, squat, up, and step. Shake that out. Make sure you feel nice and solid. Okay, we're almost done. You're going to step out. One, that's your choice. Two, you're going to squat. That's your choice. Three, arms go out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Step it together. Step out. 1, you're here. 2, you're squatting. 3, the arms reach out, the knees press out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up. Step it together. Yes, we are warming up the legs and the inner thighs. Last one here. Well, actually, last one on this side. Step out, squat, arms. Make sure you're sitting way back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Bring those feet together. We got to go back to the other end. Here we go. Step out. Give me a good squat. Hold. Reach the arms, optional. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Step together. 2 left. That's it. Here we go. Squat down. Arms out, optional. Make sure you're not collapsing in your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Step. Last one. Out you go. Give me a good squat. Reach the arms out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up and bring those legs together. Woo, shake that out. Still sideways on your mat. Let's go wide. Blocks might be helpful here. Sorry about that. Grab your blocks. Place those blocks in front of you. Still turning sideways, turning those feet out a little bit. Find your breath. And then hinge from your hips. Come on down, grab your blocks. They may not be necessary for you. If your hands very comfortably come to the floor, turn the toes out a little bit at a little bit of an angle. Watch the knees here. I just want you to bend your right knee and hold. Now, straighten the opposite foot. So I had you turn all the toes out. Just straighten that. If I'm mirroring here, it'd be your left foot is straight ahead. Your right foot is turned out, following the knee. And then find the middle place here where the inner thigh of that left leg is getting a good stretch. Big deep breath. Come back to center. We're only doing one of these. So you're straightening your right foot. You're turning your left toes out, then bending the knee and just sinking into that. Big deep breath. And center, everybody. Turn all your toes forward. Nice hinge of the hips. Turn the toes out. Bend your knees. Hands come to your knees. Come on up. Whew. And shake that out. Yeah. All right, come on back. Front of your mat, everyone. Goodness gracious. Whew. So the blocks are at the front of your mat. They're either up high or they're at second level. That usually works for most people. Nice solid mountain pose, legs, hips, glutes, active, shoulders are back. Big deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, nice forward fold. This probably feels good. Soften the knees and step back into a lunge with your left foot. Hold here. Hands are on your blocks. Turn that back foot to the side position. Think warrior 2, front heel to back heel. Your right hand goes to your right knee. Push all the way up. Give me warrior 2. So what's happening with warrior 2? If we think about it, right? Think about this front inner thigh. We want it to stay neutral, but we don't want it to curve in. So where do we find the energy? So take your back hand to your back hip. Take your front hand to the outside thigh and push out. Push the front knee out. There you go, Lenny. Breathe. Feel the back glute active. Maybe you lengthen your pose a little bit, maybe not. The feet should feel solid. And then take the arms out. And breathe. Really simple. We do this pose all the time, right? Warrior 2. Shoulders roll back. Shoulders, arms are level with the shoulders. The fingers aren't overreaching. Breathe, push into your back foot. Try to lift that back arch a little bit. Take your hands to your hips. Turn the front toes in, turn the back toes out. Same thing, warrior two, check your alignment, bend that front knee, take the hand to the outside thigh, press that thigh into your hands, and breathe. Hold there for a moment, feel the activation of the front hip, and then take the arms out and breathe. How you go, where you go, this pose should feel really stable to you. Take your hands to your hips, turn the toes forward, and go back to the first side. Sorry, bad cue there, I see by my little feedback audience here. Go back to the first side, warrior two. I want you to get the stance. And then if you can, and sorry, I should have cued this a little better, take your blocks and take if your right foot's forward, your right hand block goes to the outside of your right ankle and then come on back up. So I don't know if you can see that. Good, arms out. Warrior two, imagine the outer ankle heading toward that block. Yeah, right, front knee bent. Hands to hips, straighten the front leg. Still active, still everything going on. Keep the back hand where it is. Slide the front hand down. Go just past the knee, just past it. And then press hand into shin and find triangle pose. Don't want you to go low. Think about what this feels like in your back. Sometimes if I do triangle, I'll feel a little twinge in my low back. So what do I need to do? I need to lengthen the sacrum, lengthen the tailbone, level out the hips, and then that twinge goes away. So play if you feel it. If you can, look down at your block, put your hand on your block, open up your chest, take the upper arm up. Triangle pose. Push into your back leg, everybody. Breathe. Bend your front knee. Grab your block, take it with you. Lift up. Turn all your toes. Switch sides. Take your left foot is going to be forward now. Right foot's going to be back. Your block is to the outside of your left ankle. Back leg active. You're in warrior two stance. The stance for warrior two, triangle pose, pretty much the same, right? Only thing that changes is this front knee. So feel the back leg. Hands come to your hips, just straighten the leg, straighten the front leg. Press through the back leg. Take the front hand, just slide it down. Maybe go past the knee and then just pause because I want you to feel what's going on in your body as you take this pose down. A lot of times we go too low and we collapse. If that feels okay, look at your block, put your hand on it. Breathe, readjust. What does it feel like? Did something change in the pelvis? Are the SI joints having a little conversation, right? Going, I don't like this. Why? So if that's the case, come up higher. You're good, you're good. Take the top arm up. Open up both shoulders. Press through both feet. And breathe. Good, hand to hip. Bend the front knee. Come on up. Woo! Turn all your toes in one direction and step those legs together. Tell me you don't feel your inner thighs. I don't know. I do. Good. Grab your block, place it back at the front of your mat. And breathe. Blocks can be high or medium. Mountain pose. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, down to your blocks. Soften the knees and step back. Left leg lunge. Find your breath. Blocks maybe have to walk back a little bit and straighten your front leg. We did this already. Flex your foot, your front foot. Maybe turn those toes out a little bit. See what that feels like. Ugh. Really weird. Turn the toes back. Bend or flatten that foot. Bend the knee. Turn your back foot to the side position. Warrior two. Come on up, everybody. Come on up. Watch your pose. Watch your stance. Squeeze your glutes. Open up that knee. Breathe. Take that hand down to your knee. Straighten it up. Come on down. Triangle pose. Block or no block. Don't hang though. Breathe. Press into your back leg. Find your breath. Bend your front knee. Come back to warrior two. Cartwheel to your blocks. Straighten your back foot. Push off and step forward, left leg. Step back, right leg. Same thing, other side. Starting in a nice lunge, so easy. Straighten the front leg. Lengthen the torso, bend or flex your front foot, maybe play, and just turn that foot out to the side a little bit. And then bring it back to center. Plant the foot, bend the knee, turn the back foot to the side position. Your hand goes to your knee as you press up, warrior two. Warrior two. Do you feel like a warrior here? Do you feel strong? The arms are active, the legs are active. Your core, by the way, active. Breathe. Front hand goes to front thigh. That front thigh straightens. Slide down to your version of triangle. Your hand can be on your block, can be on your leg. It could be on the inside of your leg. Please don't hang in space though. And breathe. Take that top hand back to your hip. Bend your front leg. Come on back up, warrior two. Cartwheel. Back to your blocks. Turn your back foot. Step forward. Whew. Shake it out. Bend both knees and come on up. Whew. Grab one block. Take it between your thighs. Give it a good squeeze. Oh, why does that always feel so good? Especially when we're doing, I call it split leg poses where one leg is back and one leg is forward. This is just such a nice little reset. So give it a good squeeze. Good. And release everybody. All right. So half moon. Maybe some of us just go to the wall. Make sure all that's out of your way there, Betty, especially that strap. So half moon, right, makes sense because you think, right, we got warrior two, then we have triangle, and then we step up and we go to that little half moon thing. So it all flows into that same relative alignment, especially with the hips. So I like to place my block. I'm going to move this other one out of the way. It is so individual, but generally speaking, it is 6 to 12 inches in front of you. Sometimes it's more, sometimes not. What is it? What does it matter? When I come forward and I put my hand and I lift, I want my wrist and my shoulder to basically line up. That's my, that's the stable arm. That's one of my points of stability. That's where that block goes. Right foot forward, left foot back. Think about a little short triangle pose or a little short warrior pose, right? I'm not in my longest stance. I'm going to look at my block. Now, if you want a little more stability, you can take your other block at the higher level, put one hand there, one hand on your right hand on that little lower one, and lift your back leg. Okay. And then just hang out. If you have hands on both blocks, I'm super happy with that because think about what we're doing. This leg's lifted, the leg is externally rotated. We're working the outer thigh. If you feel good, you can take that hand from your block and take it to your waist. I am looking down at the floor. My belly is engaged. I'm pressing that leg, maybe opening the shoulder, maybe taking the arm up. Breathe. When you're ready to release, you can take your hand back to the tall block, level your pelvis as if you were in warrior three, and then lower the leg. Whew. And breathe. Now you know why we did so much stretching in the beginning. Bend the knees and come on up. Whew. Roll it out. How'd that feel? How'd that feel? Right? Not too bad. Everything about the same. If you couldn't keep the leg extended, so what? It's okay. You tried. You did your best. That's all that counts. Other side. So my personal preference, I like my supporting block, my little training wheel. I like that at the higher level. My block that my hand is going on is at the second level. Might be completely different for you. If you are near a wall and want to play at the wall, it's a beautiful thing. Left foot forward, right foot back, little baby short, triangle, little short, warrior, right? Feel the action of the hips and the glutes. Bend your front knee, lean forward to your block, the block that's going to support this pose. Your other hand can go to the nice tall block and then just pause. How's it feel on this side? Can you stay level in that front foot? Press the other leg back as if someone had a hold of your foot. 1, you're here. 2, hand goes to hip. 3, maybe you glance sideways. Whoop. And 4, maybe the arm goes up. Breathe. When you're ready, lower and lower. Woo-hoo. Shake it out. And breathe. All right, come on up, grab your block. Block between your thighs. Give it a good squeeze. Maybe walk the feet in a little bit. Try not to lock out your knees. Just squeeze. And release. Now, we're going to come down to the floor. Yes, we're going to come down to the floor. I do want to do one thing. It's a squat. Some of you are not going to be able to go there, so don't worry about it. If your knees are not going to have that, just come on down to the floor. If you want to try, your block, I think, has to go probably on that lower level, but you can stack 2 if you want. And you're going to stand in front of it. The toes are out. You're going to slowly trust those blocks are behind you. Come on down, come on down, come on down until you find a seat, or come to the floor and then sit up on those blocks. If your knees allow, take the second block out and just come on to the lowest block. If you can sit on a block even without your knees this bent, feel free to do that. You can take the legs out. Okay. Kabish, everybody? So you're sitting on the block. Your knees are out to the side. Your feet can come in any amount as long as they're flat. Deep breath. Mindful of your pelvis, the knees go out, the hands come forward. So this is just a variation of Malasana, garland pose. I'm very gently pressing my inner legs into my arms and my arms back out to the inner legs, very gently. And breathe. So normally this is done without a block. You're on your feet or your heels are lifted. Most of us end up with our heels lifted. And so it becomes a little unstable. So just kind of feel this, get a sense, right? Inner thighs as I press into my arms, those inner thighs engage. As I release the press, they relax and stretch. Do that a few times, just squeeze into your arms and then release. Good, one more big squeeze and release. And then only if you want, you can just wrap those arms around and hold on to your block. Watch your backs here though. And release, come up. If you're on your block and you're still okay, let's find a Baddha Konasana, a little bit more balance work here to stay on top of the block. And just let the knees flow out to the sides. You can even rock a little bit. If you don't feel stable, a couple things you can do. You can take your second block right next to your first one, okay? And then you can sit on two. So your seat got wide, or you can take the blocks out fully. And just feel that and breathe. Hands go to the tops of your knees. You know by now, if you've taken my classes, please never, ever, ever push down, push up. So everybody push up, not hard. Don't do, it's like 20% and then just relax, let go. Good. Push up, resisting isometric work, right? We're contracting those inner thighs and then just release. You got it. Good. Last one. Push up and release fully. Take both knees together, squeeze them in, just wrap your whole body around those legs. Good. Very gently come on off your blocks, everybody. You're going to want them both nearby, so maybe just put them alongside your mat where you can get to them. And then come on down to the floor, not overly relaxed here. Feet are on the floor. Whew. Feel your back, feel your body, feel your hips. Right. So you work inner thighs, you can't help but work outer thighs because if you're stretching inner thighs, you're contracting on the outside and vice versa. So always it is with yoga asanas, it is a full body experience. Bring your right knee to your chest. Keep your left foot on the floor, left knee bent. Hands go behind your knee. Take that leg up to the ceiling, right leg up to the ceiling. Externally rotate that hip, that leg, that foot, and then bring ankle to knee and come into figure four. Ooh, yeah. Upper body is very relaxed. We're just stretching out, hopefully, that right side. Feel free to rock a little side to side. Breathe. Notice the difference if your back is flat, right? Sacrum, lower end of your sacrum lifts off versus coming to the sacrum, again, neutral spine. Cross one knee over the other. Bring both knees to your chest. Separate one heel away from the other and optional if you want. Grab the heels or grab the ankles and come into cow face legs. Really stretching through that right hip. Relax your upper body. Release that. Undo the knees, both knees to your chest. And then the right foot comes to the floor. The left leg extends all the way up. Pause here. Externally rotate that leg, toes turn out. Bring that ankle above your right knee and both knees come toward your chest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. The end of your yoga class is in sight. You have loved and taken care of your body in this class. Maybe you've rocked side to side a little bit. And then hips are to center, cross one knee over the other knee. Maybe both knees come to chest. Separate the heels of each foot away from each other. Maybe reach for the heels or the shins. If you're overreaching, take those hands closer up the leg so that you're not overreaching the arms. Deep breath. Try to seat your sacrum a little bit and release, knees to chest. Let both knees roll to the right, coming into an easy twist. Now you might want one of your blocks between the knees to ease up this twist a little bit or underneath, but sometimes right between the knees feels really, really nice. Breathe. Bring one knee back to center. Grab your block if you were using it. Go to the other side. Again, that block between the knees. The back body is nice and wide. Maybe you feel both back shoulders on the floor. One more nice deep breath here. And then take the top knee up, bring the bottom knee up, both feet to the floor. Blocks on either side of you, Baddha Konasana with support. So the blocks are going to go under your thighs or under your knees, or they can be angled so that you don't have a corner of a block. That's really nice. So the flat edge of the block is at the outer thighs. The arms go down to your sides or rest on your belly, the soles of your feet very gently touching as if communicating with each other. Shoulders are down. Your eyes are closed. And you allow your body to fully, fully relax here. As tempted as you may be to not use your blocks and to get one more stretch in there, I would love for you not to do that, but just use the blocks. As we nourish and restore our bodies, as we give our bodies permission to fully let go. And as we pause in this pose, I'd like for you to take one hand low and one hand higher on the belly and just let them rest there. No breath work here. And don't think really hard, just see what comes to you. Three things that you are grateful for. Whatever comes to mind, three things you are grateful for. Just let that sink into your body. Let this acknowledgement of gratitude feed your soul, your heart. And as we move into Shavasana, if you are blissfully happy here, stay here. Otherwise, maybe take your blocks, place them underneath your thighs, and straighten the legs. Fully let go of those inner thighs. Arms can go back out to your sides. Feel the shoulders soften, the belly, the legs heavy. We let go of fear and worry, and we embrace this present moment. Go softer still. And then if you're ready, start to wiggle those toes. Start to circle the ankles, bend the knees. If your blocks are there, go ahead and move them out of the way. And then draw your knees to your chest. And just hold there. Rock the knees side to side, everyone. Allow those knees to roll to one side or the other. And then press all the way up, coming back to the seat of your choice. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom, strength, compassion, and love. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Have a great day.